Hey there, Hub friends. Johnny from Hub 925. Today we're going to be covering the mindset quadrant. I put together a little activity for you here that you can do at home. We're going to be covering two things today, and these are going to be the things you can control and the things you cannot control. There's so much uncontrollable stuff going on in today's world. I really thought it was important for us to navigate our thoughts. There's lots of self-reflection going on. People are taking the time to really look at all aspects of their life. I found this very helpful myself, so I wanted to share it all with you today. So as you can see, we have a 3-column system here. The first one is going to be things you can control, so I'd recommend doing this on a sheet of paper. If you'd like to go all the way through the exercise, that's the best way to do it. The middle column is going to be a self-assessment, and on this one you're going to use the letter system, grading yourself A through F. Hopefully there's no F's out there, but there's no judgment if there is. And the third one is going to be the action needed to change. A lot of times we acknowledge that things need to be different, and very little do we set ourselves up to win by having an action that aligns with it. So we're going to cover all 3 of these today. And then in the bottom is going to be things you cannot control. Notice there's no column for this one. These are things we're just simply going to come to terms with or out of our hands to help alleviate any anxiety or any nervous feelings that happen. So the first one here that you can control is your attitude. This is something we always have full control over, the way that we carry ourselves, the thoughts that we have, and really just the overall vibe that we like to live our life with. Our attitude is something we can control. You can stay positive with your attitude. You can be happy. It really kind of reflects how you want other people to learn from your behavior. So we have an opportunity to teach others through our own attitude. Now, I graded myself very generously on this one with an A. These are just example letters, so I'm not necessarily saying that I'm an A, but for this case, I'll give myself an A. The second one is going to be how often you exercise. This is a big controllable for us. We get, again, an opportunity now with so much downtime to look at how we spend our time, and I think a lot of us are looking at, how can I move from home, which is how we're supporting you with the movement videos and the workouts, but this one, how often you exercise. I gave you a really good action needed with the example here. I gave myself a C. Now this one is extremely subjective. Everyone has different expectations for themselves with how much they do work out. With a C, this is one, if you look all the way down the chart, something that does need an action to change. For me, if I find that I'm not exercising as often as I should, I look back at, how am I holding myself accountable? So the action needed for this one, because I gave myself a C, is to create a workout calendar. It's a really simple way to hold yourself accountable, to understand the days you should be moving, the days you should be resting, and really everything in between. Great accountability system is to create that workout calendar. The third thing you can control is the way you eat. A lot of people are eating right now in a way that's called grazing. You kind of find yourself in the kitchen as you work from home, and you're just snacking here and there. Not really good for the metabolism. We want to be getting good meals in at this time, but it's really hard with all the stress hormones that are being released into our body. And again, our habits are changed because everybody's routine's been flipped upside down. So the way that you eat is something you can control. You can take control of that today, and I highly advise that you do. I gave myself a B+ on this one because I've been avoiding the snacking and the reward snacking as well. That's a big one. The fourth one is how often you smile. Really hard time to find any reason to smile these days, but we need to find those things in our life that make us happy, and make sure that you're bringing them to you, whether that's your family, getting on FaceTime with friends or relatives you're not able to get a hold of. Really good thing here is to just take account of how often you smile in a day. There's been tons of research that really shows that smiling can have a really big impact on your overall mood. So for this one, how often you smile is a big one. I graded myself with an A. I've got lots of reasons to be happy. I'm here to support all of you. That alone puts a smile on my face. Last but not least here is how much you appreciate the things that you have. Again, this has really given us an opportunity to step back and look at all the things in our life. Expressing gratitude, daily affirmations, the things that we're sending you is a great way to just acknowledge the things that you appreciate. If it's people, tell them you love them, tell them you appreciate them. If it's material things, then enjoy them and use them. So these are the 5 that we kind of looked at that you can control. Now the 5 that you cannot control, we're not going to spend a whole lot of time in it other than acknowledging, is what happens around you. Those things are way out of your control. The situation that we're going through right now in the world is so far from our hands. We just need to let it go and understand that what happens around us is uncontrollable. The second thing is the passage of time. This is something that really gives us an opportunity to reflect and say, can I control the clock? No, it's going to keep on moving, so make the most of every second of every day with your friends, with your family, and your coworkers as well. The third thing is what other people think of you. This is something definitely, social media is so present right now. People are spending a lot more time on their phones. What other people think of you doesn't really matter. It never has, it never will. It's also something you can't control, so just release that one. You also can't control what other people do. And this is a time where everybody's actions are being looked at. It's important for us to care for everybody in our community. You can't control what other people do. You can just set a good example. Last but not least, the things you cannot control is your past. We've got to be able to let those things go, be able to move forward with your mindset, learn from anything in your past that you viewed as an opportunity to grow, and take it in as something that you can control and learn and grow. So I hope this is going to be helpful for you guys. Again, I found it very helpful. Go through the self-assessment and really start taking control of your thoughts in a time where we don't have much control. Thank you so much for your time. Hope to talk to y'all soon. Stay safe.